Hello, everybody. This is SuperHouse. This is our first time back in 2019. We took a little break, and we are here. This is Andrew from SuperHouse, and introduce yourself, Joey.
Hey, it's Joey from SuperHouse. I'm here.
And Maddie.
Hey, it's Maddie.
All right. So in this first live stream, we're going to send our link out to everybody that we know, so we might have guests show up, and then we're going to talk about our best games, best TV, best scenes in movies, best movies, and most anticipated movies of 2019. So take it away with your best top 5 games for 2018, Joey.
Oh, I feel like I did more than that. All right. Anyway,
or whatever.
Well, there's a couple I'm still playing, so I'll try to just name the ones I beat.
Okay.
Red Dead 2, Spider-Man, God of War, and the other ones I'm playing. Well, Banner Saga 3 came out, and so I had yet to play all of those. So I played through 1 through 3. It took me like probably a week and a half to play those. Those were great. And the other ones I'm playing, like Celeste, is really good. I think you just beat that today.
Yeah, I did. I'll get to that later.
And Octopath Traveler.
Oh, you played that?
I'm playing it. I'm currently playing it.
Are you a big JRPG guy?
It depends. It really depends. Like I'm kind of like, I like it because it has that sort of old Final Fantasy feel to it.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like.
Yeah.
Like something like Persona, I've never really gotten into. I've never really played it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like Octopath, like things like that. Like what is it? Bravely Default is another one that I've got that I'm playing. So yeah, kind of like those I enjoy.
Okay. That's the list?
That's my list for best games.
Okay, great. Maddie.
Okay, so I did these like from least favorite to my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So the other two are two I'm still playing. I just started Vampire the other day. I enjoy it. It's definitely not by like a big company, so you got to lower those expectations a little bit. But it's fun because there's not a lot of vampire games out there anymore. This is not the PS2 days, people. Then my roommate Brock told me to buy The Force, which is an open world survival horror game. And we've played a little bit of that, but it's a lot of fun. It's like Minecraft meets like Silent Hill, kind of just like not foggy, but it's like a survival game. You have to like eat stuff. You have to there's cannibals all over the place. Pretty fun. So getting in games I have finished. Number 3, Red Dead 2. Could go on about it. Fun game. It's all that. Everyone loves it. My number 2 choice is God of War. Didn't think I really needed a new God of War, but they proved me wrong. And number 1 is Spider-Man, because I don't think I've ever played a video game where I've actually felt like the hero before, but Spider-Man did that.
All right. So
That's
I have
it.
all
I'm
my
done.
Okay. I have all my lists on my phone here, so that's why I'm looking at this. Okay, so for games, starting from the bottom, my no one has this on their list probably, but my brothers and I, we really love the Jackbox Party series. So the Party Pack 5 came out this year, and it's such a great game. Whenever I'm like the new game, there's a new robot rapping portion of it. There's like a bunch of mini games, but that was like our favorite. So that was really awesome. I think that came out earlier this year. Love those games, man. Everybody should play TKO if they can. Then I got Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Came out like earlier this year, maybe first quarter or something. Thought it was just a great fighter. It's different. It's different from like Street Fighter and Tekken on the fighters you're used to. And when I first started playing it, it was just very hard to get used to, and it's fast, like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3, and that series. So it takes some getting used to, but it's really good after you get used to it. Number 3, The Messenger, which is a ninja side-scrolling platformer game, really great. I'm really loving the indie platformers on Switch, man. I'm gonna say 2. This is sort of a tie, probably, but I'll say 2 is Celeste, which I just beat an hour ago. But man, I started playing it Christmas time, and it came out last year, so I think it still counts. So excellent platformer, man. I think it's very tough. And then number 1, I got to say Spider-Man, because how fucking epic was that? That game was excellent, and I want to get some DLC. I feel bad because
Me too.
I beat it. I played straight through and beat it, and I haven't touched it since then. But
You'll pick it up and get right back into it.
Yeah.
I messed up and got a lot of those games for Steam.
Yeah.
Like Hollow Knight and Celeste I got on Switch. Messenger I got on Switch, but there's like one or two others, like Dead Cells is now on Switch.
Yeah.
And I really haven't played it yet. And so now I'm like bummed that I've already bought them on Steam, and now I can't if I want to spend money, I'd have to get them on Switch, but I would really be awesome to play handheld on the Switch.
Yeah, man.
To play those games. And now I'm just like, damn it, if I only knew.
So you want Hollow Knight on Switch and what else?
Hollow Knight, Dead Cells. There's a couple others, but like the 2D sort of platformer games.
Yeah, I think they're probably better on Switch just because it's handheld and TV and it's a Nintendo system and
Steam it's like it's on the computer, so it depends on how good your computer is.
Right. Man, all right, we blazed through that, going faster than I expected. So next up, we got Best TV of 2018. Take it away, Joey.
Best TV of 2018. Counterpart, which came out earlier this year. I've been raving about this show. Season 2 is out now. Great fucking show.
What's it on?
It is on Stars.
Cool.
So if you've got like Hulu or Amazon Prime, you can just get the Stars subscription add-on, watch it, and decide if you want to keep it or not. Sabrina on Netflix was really good.
Just finished that.
Like if you liked Riverdale, you'll love it. It definitely has that sort of CW feel, but it goes further than that. Like it doesn't feel as corny.
Yeah.
As like Dawson's Creek and like when those shows came out, like Riverdale is kind of the newer version of that, and Sabrina sort of takes it even further. With like the whole, like as Andrew watched it, he was like, dude, I didn't know there was so much Satan worshiping and Satan stuff in it. I was like, yeah, dude, it's awesome. Sharp Objects on HBO, really fucking good.
Awesome.
Kidding on Showtime, Jim Carrey show, really good.
Oh man, I want to see that.
Yeah, it's good. Haunting on Hill House,
nice,
really scary. There's I think it was episode 8 had the biggest jump scare in my life. Oh my God, dude! I've never, and it was on TV. I'm watching it in my living room on TV. Lights are out and stuff, but just fucking almost jumped out. I almost ran across the room. Killing Eve, which I believe is on BBC. It's really good. Sandra Oh.
I think it's on Amazon Prime or maybe Hulu. I always see advertisements for it as well.
It could be Hulu. I'm trying to remember what we watched it on. It's been a while, but that's a really good show. And then Barry on HBO is a fun show.
Cool.
All right, Maddie.
All right. So Joey has been talking about this show. Then Brock had been talking about the show. I think Andrew's even seen the show. And Brock came up to me. He's like, it's better than Breaking Bad. And I was like, have you seen Breaking Bad? And he said, no. And I said, you don't know shit. But so anyway, based on everyone's recommendations, I watched Ozark. So I watched season 1 and season 2 this year. Mm-hmm. I didn't like season 2 as much, but I loved season 1. And then like the last episode of season 2, really, I was like, holy fuck, I can't wait for season 3, even though through half that season, I was like, oh my God, fucking the same shit. But I really like that they've set it up for something different in season 3. Hopefully it's not a rehash of what they did in the previous 2 seasons, but I really liked it. It's on my list because it's pretty memorable. I didn't think it would be. I was just like, I'm going to forget about this. But I go back and I'm like, man, Jason Bateman's so good in that. Can't wait for season 3. Just finished this like last week, Atlanta, Robin season. That's season 2. That's just a fucking killer show. Yeah, man, it's a weird season. I feel like they leaned into like the horror aspect of real life and then a little bit of like just horror movie aspects in this season. So, me, loves it. But really good. All the actors in that show are fucking great, dude. Like I could just watch them for days. Next one is a documentary, Evil Genius, the true story of America's most diabolical bank heist.
Oh, yeah.
And that shit was fucking tight. I think I stayed up to like 6 a.m. finishing that because I could not stop. My number 2 choice is Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Dude, Satan worship. All I got to say.
You had me at Satan.
Yeah. And number 1, The Haunting of Hill House. It's really hard to scare me in in a 2-hour movie, or let alone keep up that pacing to keep it frightening. But to do an entire television series, to each episode have something like frightening in it. Like, I know I'm like one of the people, it's harder to freak me out, but the episode with the guy with the boiler hat, like, that was unnerving. It like, I've never seen just him floating. So good. But to keep that up, it's 10 episodes, right?
For what?
So
I think so, yeah.
10 episodes that have a scare or something frightening, or something like that throughout the entire series. A+, loved it. I can't wait. If there's a season 2, can't wait. If there's not, I don't need it. It was great.
Damn, I gotta watch that show.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
You and Yuka got to check it out.
None of these, by the way, I'm sure all of us are the same way, but none of our lists are exhaustive. We haven't watched every fucking show, played every game of that year. Way too much. We do our best, though. So my list, again, from bottom to top. So the bottom one, I got to go with Strange Angel. It was just so odd and interesting to see that mashup of Thelema, that kind of, again, Satanism type of cult, sex cult kind of thing, mixed with JPL and it being set in old-timey Pasadena, California. And the drama was good. It was written well. It was based on the guy's autobiography, and it seems like it's set up for season 2. It was just kind of interesting and fun to watch that.
Now, is this sort of like a period piece sort of drama show?
Period drama with some Satanism thrown in as well, and some early rocket science.
Okay.
So, and there's the guy has like what do you call it? Like, he's dreaming his daydreams, and when they do the dream sequences, there's a bit of fantasy thrown in. He turns into a werewolf in one scene. I think there's a dragon. I can't remember exactly, but there's like, it's realistic, but when they, it's a realistic setting, but the daydreams are fantasy. So,
gotcha.
And the guy reads early pulp comics too. I guess like maybe Buck Rogers and shit like that. Real early shit.
Mm-hmm.
Real early shit. So thought that was kind of cool. Number 4, Big Mouth on Netflix, season 2. Fuck, man, so funny. We're dying laughing every episode. It's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's incredible. I think it was the most I laughed all year, probably. Number 3, I'm going with Inuyashiki. This is an anime series that's essentially Iron Man meets Ikiru on from Kurosawa. There's even a reference to Ikiru on whenever he's on the swing in the first episode, I think.
Yeah. I just real quick, I started watching it yesterday, and I'm already on starting episode 7, I think.
What
It's
do you
really
think
good.
so far? Yeah, it's good, right?
I like it a lot.
Didn't that come out last year though?
If it did, I fucked up. But I saw it. I saw it last year.
Yeah,
I think it came out early last year.
I watched it. I loved it.
That's just such a great show. See kind of a Japanese take on Iron Man in a sense, a little bit different, but sort of in that vein. And the violence, it's essentially rated R and has a great villain. Like, sometimes anime villains in Japanese shows in general, sometimes their villains are just the most brutal out of any shows you've ever seen. Like the 13 Assassins villain, not anime, but still, like, that guy was fucking brutal, man. And I checked on this just to make sure. Star Trek Discovery started in 2017, but it did end the season in February of 2018. So it got a couple episodes in.
You can count that. Well, when you
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we? I'm just kidding.
I wanted to make sure, and yeah, February. So barely squeaked in, but it's my number 2. I am a pretty big Star Trek fan, not as big as like some of the super uber nerds out there, of course, but I think Star Trek Next Generation is one of the best shows of all time. And this show, although it's it's not quite as, I don't know. I don't want to. It's not quite as smart as the Next Generation, but the action is there. It's like a mixture of J.J. Abrams' influence and the old show. And I think the universe is set up in such a way that it doesn't piss off any Star Trek fans. Like, all the attention to detail is there, but it's mainly an action show. So everybody kind of gets, you can have your cake and eat it too, basically. They're not ruminating on the, position of man in the universe really a whole lot in the show, though. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what the older shows are about more. But anyway, that I love that show. Thought it was great. It was very well done. And the new one starts up soon, I think, the new season. And then number 1, Cobra Kai, man, on YouTube Red. Holy shit. I'm wearing a shirt.
I was going to say, I saw your shirt. Yeah.
I'm wearing a shirt right now. Fucking just to see. All right. So Karate Kid's my favorite movie of all time, probably. A lot of that's nostalgia, probably. I don't know, but fuck it. Who cares? I think just to see it from his perspective, and just to see the villain's perspective in the show, and for it to be done that well. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you really should see it. It could have just been complete shit, but it was just, it's written well. It's just written well. And you get to see kind of both sides, and you see the kids, these nerd kids that are learning Cobra Kai, they do need their, like, an ass kicking. They need to learn how to stand up for themselves. And you kind of see some of the worth in the no mercy aspect. But then near the end, mild spoiler, but you sort of see, like, that no mercy thing it's a good thing for a while, but in the end, you see that Miyagi was right.
Yeah.
Dang, way to spoil it.
And it's just like, you just have your cake and eat it too. Like, you get all the cool stuff from Cobra Kai, but in the end, Miyagi still was right. The Miyagi way of thinking in those movies. And yes, Daniel's kind of a douche sometimes, but he's still ultimately kind of a better guy than Joey Lawrence. So I don't know. It's just done very well, and I can't wait. I think they are doing a season 2. So, that's my top show from that year. Yeah, I think so. So now we're moving on into best scenes. We don't have like a number for this, but
I got 5.
I think I got 6. No, I got 5, I think. And so, Joey, take it away with best scenes from TV or movie.
Sure.
I just went with movie, so I only have 2.
Okay.
I recently just watched Blind Spotting, which is a movie that came out maybe around the summer this year, maybe late summer. I think the guy's name is David. I'm blanking on his name. Anyway, I believe he was in
Hamilton.
Hamilton, thank you. And I've kind of seen him on. He was on Blackish for a little bit. I think he played like a brother-in-law or something. He came on for a little bit, and he plays a guy who just he's finishing up his like last 3 days of parole. He's working as like a mover with his longtime buddy, who's just kind of like this like white guy who just like gets into trouble, and he's basically just trying to stay out of trouble for these last 3 days. He witnesses a cop shoot a unarmed black man in the back as he's running away. That's like probably, day 3 of, it goes from like day 3 or 3 days, 2 more days, 1 day, and then he's free. And towards the end of the film, he finds the cop and confronts him. And he basically, they sort of prelude to this in the film where they're just trying to sort of rap to each other, him and his friend. And they're just kind of, and they're not really like, it doesn't really work out in any of the scenes. They kind of like, they slowly kind of pick up words and like, oh yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good. And when he confronts the cop, he basically just like goes into it and just like the lyrics that he's using are really powerful to sort of what we've been experiencing the past few years and what he experiences in his life and sort of what's going on between the community and the cops. And it was really, really powerful. And even even to sort of second this, maybe a little PS. The night before, which is like maybe a couple scenes before, him and his friend get into it, and then he sort of says some things to him where he's the black guy doing what he's doing the best he can. He's got a job. He's keeping out of trouble. He doesn't have a gun. He's making his he's a little late on his curfew, but he makes a curfew. But the white dude, his buddy, he's got a gun. He's got a grill. He's acting out. He's getting fights. Like he's the dude. He doesn't say dude, but he's the dude the cops are looking for. But yet they see me, the black guy with the dreads, as the problem. But this is the guy they should be looking for. And those two scenes are really powerful. My next one is a little different subject, but it's from Infinity War, basically where Thanos does the snap. And you sort of see like kind of what we've been waiting for in this film, for him to get all the gems together. And he does the snap and basically destroys half the population of the universe. And you start to see all the characters that you've come to know and love, from the films for the past 10 years, start to fade away. You're like, oh shit, there's this guy. Black Panther just came out, gone. Spider-Man came out, gone. Stephen Strange, gone. Tony Stark and Captain America are still there. Just a few of the old guard, are still there. A lot of the new guys vanished. And so you're left with this realization, like this is where we start. This is kind of where we have to go from now. We've pretty much been defeated. We all sort of know, I think at this point that, there's another movie coming up. So where can it go from here? Other properties like Black Panther and Spider-Man have sequels coming up. So like, how are they going to get them back? But, I think a lot of people really saw that, really, just sort of blown away, because we had that sort of Game of Thrones moment where we lost.
And it was in the trailer too. They say he's going to snap his fingers in the trailer.
Yeah. It's like with one snap.
I wish I was oblivious to knowing it was going to happen. I wish I could just walk in and be like, I don't know what Avengers is. I don't know what comic book movies are. I don't know what Thanos is. Yeah. I'm sure that's got to be pretty, like, people were probably like, oh, fuck, what the fuck?
Right. Because even me, who had read the comics, I'd started reading it again, but never got to that point. And I'd forgotten about the whole half of the population thing. Yeah. I'd completely forgotten about that. And, I didn't even know it was coming. Like that particular snap or whatever. I was like, oh shit, Thor got him in the chest. Oh man, he might be able to. Nope.
Yeah.
Shit. So what's that mean? You're just watching and waiting. And then the first one to go is Winter Soldier. You're like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah, it was a great scene.
Spidey dying.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, that was
rough. That was rough.
Oof. All right, that's my 2.
Okay, Maddie.
All right, I got 5. For number 5 is Ready Player One: The Shining Quest. Genius.
Good one.
Didn't see it coming because I read the book, so I thought it was going to be War Games, but Spielberg tricked me, and it was a great change because I love the movie War Games, but The Shining is the better movie. My number 4 is Solo. Han meets Chewie, yo. Come on.
Was a good
everybody wanted to know how they met, and I think it lived up to. I love that it's a fight scene and a brawl, and then when he speaks Chewie's language, you're like, oh shit, he can speak it, but he never does in any other movie, which I thought was funny. Number 3 is Bumblebee opening scene, War on Cybertron. What the fuck? Should have just stayed there. Love that movie though, but should have just stayed on Cybertron. Much more. I was so much more entertained at the beginning of that film. I was like, we got to add humans to this. Why? Number 2 is The Predator. I know people didn't like this movie, but that Lab Massacre scene though, dope. Just Predator taking people out. I think my favorite moment is when he uses his mandibles to bite that guy's hand, because he never uses those in any other movie to defend himself. And I thought that was sick. And then him just like using a machine gun, which people were probably like, "What would you use a machine gun?" I'm like, dude, these guys are badass hunters. They know how to use machine guns.
Dude, the force field killing somebody, I actually kind of appreciated that. I think that was one of the reshoots. I don't know for sure, but I thought that was cool. I
That's
thought
the
whole
end of
third
the
act
movie.
was
I'm
cool.
talking about Lab Massacre, where we got OG practical effects Predator. Fuck that CG Predator. The worst thing they could have done is that whole CG Predator. I'll say first half of that movie is good. I rewatched it recently. I love the first half of that movie, but as soon as those CG Pred dogs come in, it just like ultimately loses everything it had going for it.
Yeah, we don't need the dogs.
Yeah. Number 1 is Annihilation. That fucking screaming bear, dude. That's stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, it
nightmares
is.
But that scene shook me, man.
Yeah.
And I picked these scenes kind of based on stuff that wasn't going to be in like my top 10 or probably my top. Some of them are in my top 20 for sure. But this scenes that I thought about like after I saw the movie for like days, I was just like, oh my God. I mean, in my top movies, I do have there are multiple scenes in those movies. I'm like, this is sick, this is sick, this is sick. But these are just ones that like super stood out. That's all I got.
All right, cool. So mine are in no particular order for the scene section. I'm just going to go through it. So in mid 90s, there's a scene where the kid gets a new skateboard and they don't cut. They kind of do this long cut of a guy making the board for the kid. It's a present for him. Mm-hmm. And it's like if you ever skateboarded, getting a new board, especially as a gift, it's like a sacred thing, I guess. It's like a big deal, especially when you're a kid, and when you learn how to punch the board together with the grip tape and all that. They put the grip tape on, they cut the around the grip tape, they punch the holes in it to put the screws in. He puts the screws in, puts the trucks on, the whole thing. I don't think he puts the wheels on. I think the wheels are already on the trucks, but it's just like it felt very conscious. Like the movie slows down for this, and I thought that was really cool. And it is emotional because it's a gift. So that was pretty cool. And then there's a scene in Black Panther whenever it's an emotional scene with Sterling K. Brown. Whenever Sterling K. Brown says, well, then that's my fault then, or something like that, and he starts crying. Sterling K. Brown seems to always cry in movies, except for The Predator, maybe. But anyway, I thought that's a really good scene, very emotional scene. It's a flashback. He's Killmonger's dad. Mm-hmm. And then in Avengers 3, I mentioned this in an earlier podcast we did, the 1,000 Vishnu arms from Doctor Strange. Fuck, I love that shit, man. That was it's so good. Like it's one of those nerd moments where you're like, this is why I'm here. This is awesome. It
still blows me away that like
cat just went nuts. Fuck.
They can show that to us and not, I don't know. I feel like that's something you wouldn't see years ago. It's like, because you would probably hear, oh, that looks weird, or that looks silly, or whatever.
Right.
But that's very much Doctor Strange for him to do that.
Yeah.
And it's just those little bits that they keep showing us in every one of these Marvel movies just makes it.
Yeah.
Like
really, really leaning into Eastern mysticism type of shit.
Yeah, just showing us like we saw the first Doctor Strange film, and we saw some cool stuff, very sort of glass like effect, things breaking and with the circles around the hands and stuff. But then showing that with the 1,000 arms or whatever was like something completely different and awesome.
It just delivers, you code a comic book movie partly in large part for the spectacle of it. And that was fucking, Infinity War is spectacle after spectacle. It's fucking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one, spoiler warning for Titans, everybody. If you guys don't want to hear either, you can take off your headphones. Okay. There's a scene in Titans midway through the season where Robin is approaching his parents' killer. He finally gets the chance to, unlike Batman. Well, maybe he did in some runs, but so Robin gets this chance and he's like about to kill him, I guess it's similar to the Batman Begins scene, but he gets closer. He gets really up in his face, unlike in Batman Begins. And they tussle for a bit, and the guy's like, "What do you want, kid?" And then Robin says, "I want my parents back." And it's just so So emotional. It really is one of the best scenes this year, hands down. That show is not perfect, but it is pretty good. It's got a lot of good to it, and the Robin arc, especially in that episode, is really, really fucking good. And like major spoilers here, I warned you, but like he gets the chance to save him, and he doesn't. Like Robin, he's like done. He's cold. So, and he has to live with that. So the show is very dark, maybe overly dark at times, but it does deliver in some ways. So, and then the last one I got is again from Black Panther, but I probably should have grouped these together. But whenever he says like "throw my body into the sea" at the end, it's like, I don't know, man, it just sticks with you because it's just so fucking deep, man. It's like, talk about like the African American. I mean, I don't know, of course, not personally, but like it's just like it's one of those things. It's one of those lines that makes you think, and I don't know. It really stuck with me. It's one of those lines that stuck with me. So, it's in most memorable. Okay, now we're going into what best movies. We finally made it. So Joey, best movies, top 10.
Top 10 of 2018.
I don't know if I'm ready.
There's no surprises here. There are no particular order.
Mine's not really surprised either.
But I'll start with Blind Spotting, Avengers: Infinity War, A Quiet Place, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Green Book, which, to preface this, the Golden Globes is going on right now, and Mahershala Ali just won actor. Mission Impossible Fallout, Hereditary. Let's see, what am I on now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Black Panther, the documentary Three Identical Strangers, Mandy, and
number 1. Oh,
what's that?
I said Mandy's number 1.
No, they're in no particular order.
Oh, okay.
I'm just reading them off. And then this is that's 10. And I started watching Leave No Trace on a Plane, and I saw pretty much most of the film, but I was like falling asleep during a couple scenes. So I haven't seen that entire film, or it may have made it into top 10. I have not seen The Favorite, Bill Street. That's not the entire. I'm blanking on the actual.
If Bill Street Could Talk.
If Bill Street Could Talk. Thank you. First Reformed and A Star Is Born. Those ones I have not seen. That I know I should watch very soon. But yeah, that's my top 10.
All right, Maddie.
Okay, so first I'm gonna start off with 4 honorable mentions. The Ritual on Netflix, great horror movie. Bumblebee, Halloween.
Was The Ritual this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was early. It's like January or February.
Yeah, great movie.
So Ritual, Bumblebee, Halloween, and Suspiria remake. I just need to see Suspiria again.
The original?
No, the remake. I just want to watch it again because
Yeah.
a lot happens in it, and it's pretty long too.
Yeah.
Didn't fall asleep or anything. It's just a lot to take in.
Sure.
All right, so starting my top 10, Mission Impossible Fallout, because why the fuck not, man? One of the greatest action series. It's
Helicopter battle, dude. Helicopter battle. It's all I needed in my life.
Dude, I fucking love the bathroom scene. It's my favorite.
Oh, really?
Man, shit is so good.
I've watched it like
that guy. Yeah, and then that one dude kicking both of those dudes' asses is so good because you expect to go the other way.
Right.
And you're just like, oh my God, this guy's really taking these like 2 badass agents. And Ethan Hunt has done so much fucking shit throughout these entire movies, but I love that scene. Next up, these are in order pretty much. Skate Kitchen, which I feel like there were a bunch of skate things that came out, which is great because there's not a lot. But this one is about ladies skating, which is pretty sick because you rarely see that. I think this might be the only film I've seen. So to see their perspective, I didn't see mid-90s, but I just think seeing that perspective from women is super awesome and stuff that they go through while trying to just be a group of skaters. Because if you think it's hard for new boys to be skaters, it's way tougher for the women. Next up, we got First Reformed. Ethan Hawke is fucking amazing in this movie. It's like a return to form for Paul Schrader, which I watched the last couple of his films. I was like, oh my God, really? This guy wrote Taxi Driver and done some amazing fucking movies. And like, these are the things he's doing now. It's just like sad to watch. But this is like return to form. So good. It's on Amazon Prime right now, so no excuses not to watch it. Next up, Sorry to Bother You. Did not see the equestrian horse people coming. Love it. Super weird movie. I also totally blank out on the dude's name, but he's from Atlanta. Super great cast. Also on Hulu, so you can watch it. Next up is You Were Never Really Here. Joaquin Phoenix is a fucking powerhouse. The book is equally as good, but the movie takes it a step further and gives you so much more extra, and it totally makes sense. And it's on Amazon Prime. So that love that. Next up, I got The Endless. Love these two directors. I talk about them all the time. They did a movie called Spring and Resolution. This is their new film. I think it officially, like, they finished it in 2017 and did some showings, but like a wider release was 2018. So I'm counting it. Next up, this is my top 5 here. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You know me, I try to do different top 10 lists, not put all the superhero movies in there because I know Andrew, Joey, Stefan usually got that covered. But goddamn, this movie was so much fucking fun. And I can't wait for the sequel and then the Spider Ladies movie. Whatever they want to do, I'll be there.
Spider Ladies.
Yeah. Got next up, A Quiet Place. Who knew? I mean, I had faith in John Krasinski, but a lot of y'all out there were like, man, the guy from The Office can't make no horror movie. Well, he did. It's fucking great. Kills off a little kid in the first like 5 minutes of that movie.
Brutal.
Who else is doing that? All right, number 2, Mandy. Like, why the fuck not, man? This movie was made for me. A little slow in the beginning. But the last half of it is just like, I wish I would have found this movie as a kid in the video store, you know? Like, just would have like popped it in the VCR and been like, what the fuck am I shouldn't be watching this shit, man. If my parents knew. But yeah, the more I go back to it, just every scene in that is just over the top and great. And my number 1 choice, I didn't think it was going to be, is Hereditary. But I've watched it like almost 3 times now. Mm-hmm. And I see something new every time I watch it. And it's just, the acting's phenomenal in it. And also having it to deal with a demon that's not widely known is fucking awesome. Because it had me going, wait, is Paimon really a thing? Or like, what is it?
Paimon.
So, you know, those are my top 10.
All right. I feel bad because I didn't see Green Book. I didn't see If Beale Street Could Talk. I didn't see Roma. I feel like any of those like top movies that everybody else is talking about could usurp a lot of what I got here. So apologies in advance, especially the first 2, because I feel like, I don't know, did I not see enough this year? I was like struggling.
Apologize. You like the shit you like, man.
I know, but okay. Well, the first 2, it's like, all right, you'll see. So starting from the bottom, number 10. Game Night. I just saw this recently, but man, that was pretty
sick, dude.
Pretty fucking good, man. Yeah. I wanted more comedies on my list.
Game Night's fun.
Yeah, really, really good. Maybe the best stereotypical date movie this year, I would say, or last year, 2018.
Super R-rated.
Yeah. And then number 9, Cock Blockers. Dude, John Cena was fucking hilarious in this movie, man. So good. Again, I want to bring light to more comedies, so there you go.
Cool,
number 8, number 8, Won't You Be My Neighbor documentary, fucking fantastic. One of the best I've seen in a while. So yeah, the Mr. Rogers movie. Can't wait for the Tom Hanks one. He's a great choice for that. Lower than a lot of people, but still makes top 10. Spider-Verse is next.
Dang.
It's my favorite Spider-Man movie, man. This is better than Spider-Man 2. This is the Raimi one. This is better than the darker ones after that. It's better than... Honestly, I liked it more than Homecoming. That's maybe my number 2.
They're equal. They're ties.
For me, it's just... I guess it cheats because it's animated or something, but it's just... It has, the comic book feel, way like a lot, So
yeah, one's live action, one's animated.
So. Yeah, and like I said, it cheats, but that's what my pick. And seeing Miles Morales is cool, obviously, and everything. Yeah, it was fucking great. A Quiet Place after that. Everybody knows I'm the least acquainted with horror movies out of this whole fucking podcast, but it was excellent, man. That's really, it was fun, simple story. I mean, kind of a gimmick, but a really good gimmick of keeping everything quiet the whole time. And especially in a horror movie, man, fuck, so good. And then the most important movie of the year, even if it's not my number one, is Black Panther is next. Saw it twice in the theater, which there weren't many. It might have been the only one I did see twice in the theater last year. Just fucking excellent, man. I mean, how much better could it be? I mean, you get like this Afrofuturism thing. You get to see, black superhero, which we haven't seen in a while. With Marvel, what was their first one in the theater? Luke Cage was before that, but it's just fucking great. And to see, like, I love seeing like a cultural shit too. So to see African culture shit mixed with superhero shit mixed with sci-fi shit, fuck, dude, like you get everything, and you get the spectacle of superhero movies and things like that as well. So I fucking loved it. Man, squeaking just ahead of it is Avengers 3, man. God, what an event movie, tentpole event if there ever was one. This how Marvel's doing this, I don't know, man. It's just you got like 3,000 characters, but they can balance them all, and everything works really well. Honestly, our review of this too was one of my favorite episodes that we did last year. I think it was a really tightly done episode that we did, and we covered all the bases. But anyway, again, since I love comedies and superhero shit, I gotta say Deadpool 2 is above that. A lot of people, like, I get it if you don't like Ryan Reynolds, like Stefan in the podcast, not here today, but he didn't really like it. I mean, he liked the movie okay, but he doesn't really like that style of humor a whole lot. And I've met other people that just can't really like dig that style of humor. And if you guys think about it, a lot of people can be more or less on board with action movies as far as like best of the year, somewhere in the ballpark. But think about everybody's best comedies. Like people's taste in comedies varies so much. So I can totally understand if that's not your thing, but for me, I like the comedy. The suits on point. The X-Men suits are great. Colossus is great. Juggernaut. I mean, they get the X-Men universe perfect, pretty much. The stuff near the end, maybe not great, like the going back in time. I don't know why they did that, but until that, and again, that's like after credit sequence, so whatever. And the action is just fucking great in those movies. And then I gotta say my number 2 and number 1 are sort of like tied, and for very, very different reasons. But I'll go with the next one is mid-90s. I just saw this recently, but again, kind of a movie that cheats for me because I skateboarded in the late 90s. I probably started around 98, 97 maybe is when I started. So very emotional film. Very it does really feel like what's his name? What's the director's name again? I'm blanking. Jonah Hill. Yeah. Seems like he really knows that world. Sort of autobiographical, very real. It's almost as real as Kids, if you remember that movie, but not quite as depressing. So there's some really depressing shit, but it doesn't end that way. I don't want to spoil too much, but like it's not a depressing movie at the end of the day. So, but yeah, very real, very good, and kind of a weird pick probably, but I like Bumblebee really a lot. Maybe my number 1, just because Joey wanted me to explain this. I feel like it got a lot right. It got the main, it got the source material right. I always want to know why Bumblebee didn't fucking talk, because he talked in the fucking cartoon.
That was lame. I wish they would have fucking got rid of that shit for this remake. Like, what the fuck? Who cares? He had such a cool voice on Cybertron.
Yeah, he did. He did. I kind of see it as a necessary evil. It's fine, whatever. Like I agree with you, but at least they showed him get like stabbed in the neck and shit. And like the robots fighting, I thought was really cool. Cybertron shit was really sweet. And like that scene, whatever, she's like, my name is what's her name? Charlie Watson. It's my 16th or 18th birthday. Like that close up of her, very emotional. And I'm going to spoil the end of it. Cut this off. I'm going to spoil one part of it. But just you got that scene where he says, "Thank you for helping me find my voice." And she says, "Thank you for something." But like it shows like their arcs, their character arcs are intertwined pretty much perfectly, and you got scenes of. It makes such sense because you got a character that has an emotional attachment to a car already from her dad, and which perfect setup. And then she's going through teenage awkward shit. It's the 80s too, which is great. And then you got like just scenes of utter joy, like scenes of her just having so much fun with Bumblebee. And that's something that a lot of these movies can lack, especially the Michael Bay ones. Just like they're and then the revenge scene too is like, you want revenge? No, I don't know. What are you talking about? Well, I want it. You know, scenes like that, and then him just destroying that car, just utter joy, I think. And again, maybe a little bit of meta reasons, but just to have 4 movies that really weren't great, and then finally this one with
there are 5
complete shit movies before this.
Yeah.
Then we get this. It's like, man, it's just so good. I thought it was great.
It's definitely a breath of fresh air for something that you grew up loving and
Yes.
watch it shit on. It's like,
yes.
Now can we do that with Turtles? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Just did it.
I mean,
did it.
It's
You're only 2 movies in. You can save it.
I mean, it's all the emotional beats were there. I'd say the only thing that was a little bit awkward was that guy, the dude that wanted to do the cliff jumping scene. I can see why they needed it for emotional reasons or whatever. So they needed it for the story, but I don't know. It felt like almost too much of a detour, but they needed a reason for the revenge, I guess. I don't know. I have to see it again, but other than that, there's not much wrong to me.
It's just showing her like not fitting in with those assholes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she kind of likes the guy, but she's got those like the group of mean girls off to the side, like giving her shit.
Yeah.
And then he sucks too. So
he was maybe slightly better because he said, I'll go first or whatever. You know, it was pushy, but not extremely so. So I don't know. It's kind of weird, but
yeah.
Oh, and the little brother too was excellent.
Yeah.
Little karate kid.
Oh yeah.
There's so many things.
Loved it.
So many things in this movie, you know. So it was great. Fuck yeah, it was good. All right, so now we're doing most anticipated for 2019. All categories, run through it.
I think I told you guys already. The kid from mid 90s is the actor, and I'm sure a mocap actor for Kratos' son in God of War.
Oh yeah, you told us on the messenger.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I still haven't seen mid 90s yet. Okay, anticipated 2019. We can just go through all of them.
I'll do the whole thing, run through real quick.
Okay.
All categories.
For movies.
Give me a second.
For the movies. Glass, Alita, Battle Angel. Everything Marvel's got going on, you know, Avengers 4, Spider-Man, the New Mutants, and then Captain Marvel, Us, which I'm very excited for, Pet Sematary remake, Godzilla and the King of the Monsters, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Joker, Star Wars 9, and then Everybody Knows, which is by Asghar Farhadi, who did A Separation. I need to watch all of his movies pronto, and I've been really bad about doing it. But I went and saw Cold War last night, which is a Polish film. I think it was nominated for Golden Globe, or it won Best Director in Venice Film Festival or Cannes Film Festival. I can't remember. But anyway, I saw the trailer for Everybody Knows with Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem. Looks really good. Games, Sekiro, Resident Evil 2. Apparently it's not a remake, but you know, Resident Evil 2. Last of Us 2, Doom Eternal, Metroid Prime 4, Bloodstained, which I've backed on Kickstarter. Oh God, was it 2019? So what was it? 2015, 4 years ago. Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm into it. I want to see what Kingdom Hearts 3 brings, because I did enjoy 1 and I haven't beat 2, and everything else that came after that I was just not into. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I thought it looked stupid. So I'm hoping that they can sort of bring back the magic with 3. And it looks like they can. It looks great. Mortal Kombat 11, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which is a sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest, I believe, which is on Steam, which is another game I was going to mention that probably will end up coming out on Switch because it's a cool-looking 2D platformer.
I got Owlboy on Switch, and I feel like I should have gotten that shit on on Steam, and I should have gotten that on Switch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Pathless, which is by the guys who did Abzu, which is another game I haven't played, but I believe you played it, Andrew.
A little bit.
I beat it.
I need to play more of it, maybe.
Okay, Maddie beat it? Okay.
Yeah, it's fucking phenomenal. I can't wait for that game as well.
Yeah, Pathless looks cool. Shenmue 3, which I never played the second one because I didn't have an Xbox. I was pissed it didn't come out on Dreamcast, and so
it's out on PS4.
It's good. Well, I think it's on there now, but when it came out, when I was like, I would have played it. And then the game Skull and Bones, which is like a pirate game, but it's like online, not sort of different than Sea of Thieves. Like it's more realistic, and you sort of sail the seas. But I guess it's more of a realistic version of Sea of Thieves. And I think so for as far as TV, in last season of Game of Thrones, I think there's quite a few other. I didn't really write a list, but I definitely know I'm mostly anticipating Game of Thrones.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's my list.
Okay, Maddie.
Oh, hold on. I'm almost done.
You want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Joey reminded me of some shit. So, of course, Game of Thrones is probably number 1 last season. Fuck. How can you beat that, man? But otherwise, in no particular order, I'm really fucking looking forward to Godzilla, man. I think those trailers look great. Hopefully we walk away from that movie like, fuck, I didn't know a Godzilla movie could be so good.
Dude, I hope, man. It looks, I keep seeing the trailers. I'm like, fuck, this could be awesome.
I watched Aquaman again for the second time in IMAX, and we saw that trailer in IMAX, and fuck, dude, epic. Fuck. God, it's so good. Of course, Avengers 4, the epic conclusion to this whole phase. Can't wait. Shazam. I do have a DC fanboy inside of me. As weird as that sounds, but I can't wait. Looks great. DC's back on track. I think most people think that even if you didn't absolutely love Aquaman, I think most people are like, well, it's a step in the right direction. So, and by the way, just for disclaimer, Aquaman's not on any of my lists because I worked on the movie and too much inside baseball. I think on that. So anyway, fucking Captain Marvel, Star Trek Discovery Season 2, Stranger Things that come out this year.
Yep,
Stranger Things Season 2, yeah.
Season 3, right?
Season 3 is next year, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, there was no season this year,
so it's 2020.
It's Game of Thrones. 2019 is Season 3 of Stranger Things.
Okay, gotcha. Then Sekiro for PS4. That's above Ghost of Tsushima because ninjas.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Ghosts.
Better than Samurai.
That one.
And then Mortal Kombat 11. So that's my list.
Cool. All right, I'm ready. I thought we were just doing movies. So, TV, True Detective Season 3. I've heard it's a return to form. So fucking sick. I'm down.
Yep.
Game of Thrones. I mean, come on, dude. We have a fucking podcast about it. Of course, I'm excited for it. Stranger Things Season 3. I'm a fanboy. Love it. I'm glad this show got saved and can't wait for the new season. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's hilarious. And then my final one is The Passage. I haven't read the books. My dad's a huge fan. I'm hoping to get around to them since now the third one is finished. Mm-hmm. But I don't. It looks pretty. It's on Fox, so who knows? But I don't know. It's about vampires, so fuck it. I'll be there.
Yeah. I listened to the audiobook years ago.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good. I think it's something you would definitely enjoy.
I read half of the first one that was before the third one came out, and it had been pushed back like a year or two. And I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to finish a series if it's not done. I can't do it, dude. I forget what the fuck happens if books keep on getting pushed back. That's why I haven't read Game of Thrones yet.
Yeah. Hey.
Games I'm looking forward to. Oh my god, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Come on, y'all. Yes. Need a really good Star Wars game. So hopefully they knock it out of the park. Sekiro, however you say that, Shadows Die Twice. Can't wait, even though I don't think I've beaten one of those games, but they're so hard. But I love all of the, just the way the art style of all of them. So I'll be there. Resident Evil 2, of course I'll be there. Come on. Love Resident Evil. Last of Us 2. Also, God, man, it's taken so long. Why is that not out? Why wasn't that out this year? And then there's a game called Days Gone, which I think looks kind of cool if they do some certain things right. It's another like zombie survival thing, but I'm really hoping they do something different with it than what we might expect. Oh God, sorry, my thing jumped. Movies I'm looking forward to: The Lighthouse, which is from the director of The Witch.
Okay.
I've been eagerly waiting for something new from him, and the only thing I've heard is that Robert Pattinson almost punched him in the face. He made him so mad. So I'm like, sick. This movie's probably gonna be great. Us, I thought that trailer looked sick. I don't care what Andrew says.
I'm going to be seeing the opening weekend.
Yeah, but I mean, anything by Jordan Peele, I will be there opening day. I think it looks awesome.
For sure.
A lot of the scenes are shot in the daylight, which it's really hard to make stuff unnerving or unsettling. But that kid, like walking in the fire, was like, "Holy fuck, man! What is this movie?"
Yeah.
So I can't wait. It Chapter 2, like, come on, man! It Chapter 1, so dope. So I'm excited to see like what the scares are for the grown-ups, because in the miniseries, that's the worst part of that movie, because they don't seem scared. Or none of the scares. So I'm hoping that they like up the scares and like make it like I know the first one was rated R, but I hope this one's like, oh my God, this could be NC-17 almost.
It stands a chance for most improved from original, is what you're saying?
Yeah, just because the TV actors in it are good. It's just like, I just don't think it holds up as well as like some of the kids' scares, because I think the kids sell it a little more. So I'm like, with the same director as Chapter 1, it's not like changing hands or anything. They're going to give them more money. I'm really hoping it kind of like ups the ante for like adult scares, because I don't know, they could be kind of hokey. I'm just nervous. Avengers Endgame, duh. Captain Marvel, duh. Shazam, duh. I mean, I want to see Dark Phoenix. I'm not anticipating it because I don't think it's going to be good, because I've not liked really any of the X-Men movies. I mean, there are good parts to them, and they've come close so many times, but they've never nailed it. And I don't think they're going to do it with Dark Phoenix either, because it's Dark Phoenix, man. It's never going to be good. Stop trying to do it. Then the New Mutants, I'm super excited about. Horror superheroes, come on, y'all. What's is Burn Bright? Is that or Brightburn?
Brightburn.
Brightburn. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
I'm super excited for that shit, because I mean, come on, that shit looks dope. And then Pet Sematary, another Stephen King remake. You know, the original is fucking solid, so there's I don't know why they're doing it, but dude, I fucking love horror. I'll be there.
They're doing it because of it. It was a humongous success.
Yeah, but there's like other like things they could work on, like a new Dark Tower movie, the Gunslinger movie, like things they could improve on that they tried to do.
Right.
Because Pet Sematary is just fucking solid.
I mean, hopefully they do that. I feel like with it, and then they had Gerald's Game.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was this year too, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So many fucking movies, man.
I know, but like with Stephen King, like a lot of his stuff he's had a big resurgence the past 2 years. I think so much of his stuff is coming back out and getting remade or made, that I'm thinking that eventually, after that disaster that was Dark Tower, was that this year?
Last year?
Anyway, it might have been 2018.
Yeah. So I mean, let's hope we can, because maybe a lot at that point when it was coming out with Ron Howard, and all those other guys sort of attached, and just never really came to fruition how they wanted it. Maybe now they can actually look at it and
TV show. Netflix, get it.
Somebody get that fucking thing and make it a TV show and do it the way it's supposed to be done, and you'll get all the backing and praise in the world. Don't make it a one fucking movie thing. Like, that's not going to work. It's never worked. Stop.
This is someone's next Game of Thrones if they do it right.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I'm also excited.
Is that it, everybody?
Excited for Dr. Sleep, which will be a Netflix movie.
Ooh.
Mike Flanagan, who did the Haunted of Hill House. Yeah. Ewan McGregor's playing Danny Torrance. Fuck yeah, I'll be there.
Damn. Hill House, what?
Yeah.
Nice.
I forgot a TV show as I was watching the Globes. It came on, The Alienist.
Oh, I wanted to watch that.
That was on, I think, TNT, TBS,
something like that.
Came out earlier this year. Really cool show. Like that a lot.
Nice. I want to watch. My other thing that I need to watch that I didn't watch, I read the book, was The Terror on AMC.
I kind of want to see that too. I was reading some of the review sites, and they I think somebody said that it's and I've heard a lot of things about it, but yeah, it's really.
Did it get nominated? I don't think it got nominated for anything, but people loved it.
I don't think it got. I think it just kind of like fell under the radar. You know, I think people liked it. The people who saw it and enjoyed it, I think it just kind of fell under the radar for people for some reason.
Shame. Oh,
all right.
Ooh.
This concludes the best of 2018, our first live stream. We're going to be doing a lot of our, if not all of our reviews from now on this way. This is part of the changes we were talking about earlier on the podcast, and more news on all that stuff later. So anyway, this is Andrew signing off.
Joey signing off. See ya.
This is Maddie. Bye-bye.
See you guys.